Gilbert's father, who's our lawyer, passed away unexpectedly this morning. So if you want to sign it, I'll write something nice in there and send it on behalf of Gilbert. Please and thank you.
Yeah, after we that's part B. A, this is A. Great. You're online, ready to go. Restaurants.
All right. Go ahead.
No.
Yeah.
Go ahead and call the meeting to order. Okay.
Roll call. Josh,
Here.
Nathan,
Here.
Melissa, here, Mindy, here, Andrew.
Here.
All right. Approval of the agenda, motion.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? All opposed? All right, under new business, we have consider / approve the resolution directing the sale and approval of bond purchase agreement for approximately $19,400,000. School infrastructure sales, services and use tax revenue and refunding bonds of series 2024.
Travis, did you want to brief us on just a summary of what took place today?
Yeah, sure. Thanks for, everything over the last couple of weeks, month, trying to get special meetings and stuff on the calendar. Appreciate the flexibility, as it turned out, unfortunately, we couldn't have used your regular meeting date this week. And needed to use a special meeting. So thanks for taking some time out of your busy schedules to accommodate that. So today was the day we were locking in rates on your sales tax bonds. Piper Sandler is the underwriter on those bonds, and we were out marketing to investors this morning. We had a order period from 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. where we were soliciting orders. As it turns out, we had nearly $100 million of orders for your $19 million of debt. So a lot of good investor feedback. A lot of it centered around some of the longer maturities, which we ended up repricing downward, which, from our pricing thoughts, interest rate thoughts this morning until this afternoon, you're saving around 0.06%. So it was a pretty good result today. One of the things that, did take place over the last couple of days, we had been targeting a goal payment out of your sales tax bonds, and interest rates have dropped quite a bit over the past month, somewhere in the neighborhood of 0.25%. So the district was able to take, what would have been your payment schedule on $18.64 million to wrap that into your new payment schedule at 19.4 of proceeds, meaning the district has about an additional $800,000 of project funds due to the favorable interest rates on the sales tax debt. So as it sits right now, you've got a little bit of cushion going into what's left in your GO bond debt issuance, about 20 million there, as well as your cash contributions towards some of the FF&E playground. And then you do have two projects that do need to be funded out of cash, meaning the admin center, as well as the transportation project. And that comes. So all in all, the financing plan took a step forward today in the positive direction. We were able to get rates locked in with investors today at a favorable rate. The true interest cost of around 4.53%, I think was the final number around there. I'm driving, so I'd give you the exact number. So I'm just having to go off memory at this time. In terms of what you have then tonight is a resolution to direct the sale. The resolution to direct the sale will award the financing to Piper at the rates that we have outlined. And then in addition, we have a resolution calling your bond anticipation project notes. So the short-term financing that was put in place to help gain access to money to pay for construction, that will be paid off on the day of closing, which is on the 30th of this month. So we have a pretty quick turnaround as we move forward to getting this closed. And the district will then have a very substantial position in cash. So we hopefully do not run into any more cash flow issues on the project. I think, around the bend, there's still scheduled yet this calendar year to be sold a series of general obligation bonds. So look for a timeline to come out relatively quickly for that as well. In terms of the process today, we did go out to investors. I think I mentioned to Gail and Christine that on some of your bonds we had over 20 orders or different orders from investors. So it was really good result in terms of investor feedback. We did go through the bond rating process again, and you did receive an A+ rating on your sales tax debt, which was a lot of work. I think as we kind of move forward towards the sale of the general obligation bonds later this fall, there'll be a little bit more of a, I wouldn't say an issue, but just some planning that's going to need to be taking place as you get your fall enrollment and start working on your projections going forward. Nothing that we need to do today, but in terms of things that we would normally do in January in terms of the state of the district, we may be advancing those to a November meeting with the board of directors. So just a little bit of a heads up of what's on deck. So tonight you have a resolution directing the sale that will authorize the signing of a bond purchase agreement, which also came today from the council. So your attorneys at Allers and Cooney, as well as our attorney at Dorsey and Whitney, reviewed those documents and put those before you. So at this time, I'll kind of entertain if there's any questions. We can talk more plan of finance, but I think from doing this remotely, it's probably easier to find an in-person date to review that in person instead. So any questions from the board at this time?
No questions.
Okay.
Travis?
Thanks, Travis.
Yeah, in terms of next steps, I think it's important to note you have another special meeting, I think scheduled for the 22nd?
Yes.
Yeah.
22nd.
So look for documents from Allers and Cooney probably later this week, early next week for that meeting. And yeah, they're doing some really nice work helping to accommodate this quick turnaround closing. So hats off to everybody on the team for their work, Gail and Christine for their diligence and kind of getting through the rating process. There were a lot of questions, a lot of back and forth, a lot of time sucked out of your administration team's life. So as we kind of move forward, just know we'll need to put some emphasis on addressing some of the rating concerns as they go forward.
Thanks, Travis.
Thank you, Travis.
Yep.
I will make a motion to approve the resolution directing the sale of $19,400,000 of school infrastructure sales, service, and use tax revenue and refunding bonds series 2025 and approval of bond purchase agreement.
I will second. And this is a roll call vote. Josh,
Yes.
Nathan,
Yes.
Melissa? Yes. Mindy? Yes. And Andrew?
Yes.
All right, next, consider / approve the resolution authorizing the redemption of outstanding taxable school infrastructure sales, services, and use tax revenue bond anticipation project notes, series 2025, dated August 20th, 2025, and directing notice be given.
Yep, I'll make a motion to approve a resolution authorizing the redemption of outstanding taxable school infrastructure sales, services, and use tax revenue bond anticipation project notes, series dated 2025, dated August 20th, 2025, the Gilbert Community School District, State of Iowa, and directing notice be given.
I will second.
Roll call. Nathan.
Yes.
Josh.
Yes.
Melissa.
Yep.
Mindy.
Yes.
And Andy.
Yes.
All right, next, consider slash approve the FFA trip to Greece.
That's a tough one.
Yeah,
right,
so-
thank you,
yeah,
Travis.
So go ahead,
Yep.
Adam.
Thank you.
Thank you, Travis. I've invited Adam Davis here, to talk about the Greece collaboration. Thank you. That has quickly come, to our attention. It's very exciting. And I, applaud Adam for saying, hey, we can do this. And I said, well, it's a pretty tight timeline here, but he's got a plan. So I'm gonna turn over to him and let him explain it to you a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the handout that I've given just describes a little bit about some of the keynotes of the trip that's upcoming. I'd like to start maybe where this came from. In the spring, the Gilbert Ag Ed program and FFA chapter hosted the president of the American Farm School, which is a school system in Thessaloniki, Greece. It's the second largest city, so Athens and then Thessaloniki, and it goes all the way from pre-K to graduate college. They have 3 different colleges. They have 2 high schools, a regular high school and a vocational high school. And it's a diverse school system. And Iowa State was hosting, Dr. Jeff Lansdale is the president's name. And as a part of that schedule, wanted to see ag programs in every capacity from Iowa State down to as far as they could go, and Gilbert was selected as one of those programs. So gave him a tour, established a great connection with him. He was very impressed with the work we do and with the kids that we have in the program. And we've kept touch with him, and myself and office FFA officers maintain communication throughout the summer about trying to build a collaborative program with him. Ultimately, we said it would be awesome to have some sort of student exchange with students from Greece from the American Farm School coming to Gilbert for a short experience, like 1 to 2 weeks is kind of what we were talking about. We were pretty big picture ideas. Just a couple weeks ago on a Zoom call, which was becoming a fairly normal thing. The president, as well as a couple principals, said we would love to host you guys in Greece. So, wow, fantastic! That's great. When are you thinking? How's 5 weeks sound? It's like, whoa, I don't know about that. Well, I guess, yeah, we'll see. So we put all the items in place to try to, we communicated with Dr. Trujillo and the building principal as well, reached out to FFA members to say, hey, is this even a possibility? Like, if we said yes, could you guys go? And here we are. So we're lining it up. They said it was all expenses paid in country, which is a very generous offer. They said we would just have to be responsible for the flights there. There was, I'm probably gonna jump around on the page just a little bit. So feel free to make notes and ask questions, but there was a very generous donation that the Ag Ed program and FFA chapter received from a community member this past spring of $20,000 that was given just with the directive of use it at my discretion for making the best kids better. So in other words, the excellent students that have participated in FFA, the Ag Ed program, bolster them and then let it have a residual effect to the rest of the program as well. So we've found that, man, what a better calling, and we've been in discussion with that individual as well. They feel it's very fitting of the purpose of that donation to use that to pay entirely for the flights for the individuals, and then the Gilbert FFA alumni chapter has stepped up to pay for any costs associated with expediting passports or getting passports, because a lot of individuals didn't even have that. So that was the first one that we were figuring out was, hey, if this works, like, do you have a passport? The answer was a resounding no, except for one individual so far. So that was some strings that were getting pulled, but those are on the way in the event that this works out. So.
And Adam, we're taking some alumni and we're working on current.
Yes, it's a combination of alumni. Yes, so there's 4 alumni members. We invited 5. One was unable to attend due to some obligations, but the president and the vice president from the last 2 years. And a part of it, if you don't mind, I'll talk about the purpose of it, right? We said they were really intrigued by the Ag Ed program in the FFA about the student leadership organization side. They wanted to start that. And Dr. Jeff Lansdale, he said, we want to be the first FFA chapter in Europe. I said, well, hopefully it is the Future Farmers of America. If it's not the FFA, it's a brand, or we can, a student leadership organization focused in agriculture and professional development and leadership opportunities. We can certainly come up with something to do that. And that was where the first, after meeting with advisory council, we say, who are the kids? Because it's student led. They play out, who are the ones who are most familiar with that? And that's where, well, it's our leadership team, the officers, president, vice president, from last couple of years. So that's where they came from. So reached out there. We're in the process of finalizing some interviews for 2 to 3 individuals is what we're gonna be able to select to come with that are current members as well, to be a part of that process. And then I think especially see, they're familiar with how those other students have led in the past, but get to be a part of that conversation as well. May have to be beneficial to have my friend.
And the big, farming in Greece, you told me what that was. Do you want to share that?
Oh,
What's
like the dairy farm?
That's right.
Yes, they have
Didn't know.
phenotype wise, top 10% dairy herd in the world. So they're innovators in the ag industry and their facilities, they have vineyards and orchards and just a whole bunch of facilities that we're really excited to see, that getting hands-on with students and seeing both how the teachers and how their kids interact. I think it's gonna be great to get students to be a part of that, but also the students are the pioneers. Figure out how to help do this program. And also the important part for Gilbert is saying, how does this value us and our program and our kids, is bringing that back. They are planning to visit in July, bring some kids from Greece. And, so we're gonna return that favor, do the full program tour. And, what I envision is hoping to set up some sort of exchange where, I traveled, went to St. John, taught there for 6 months when I was in college and just provided so many beneficial experiences. Global agriculture and diversity and understanding, that's what agriculture is about, as much as we like to think Iowa and farming and industrialized, that it is different all over the world, and providing kids that same experience is very important.
How long is the trip again? You said?
Yeah, the trip, it's planned for October 3rd to October 12th, so it would be leaving on a Friday or right around there, depending on flights, and returning on a Sunday. So a week and a couple days. Yeah.
Wait,
That's a big one. Let me make sure, because I was one handout short on that, if I missed anything. Oh, chaperone wise. So 6 to 7 members, that would be attending. Chaperones myself, Dr. Kent Schwartz, who is a community member. He served on the advisory council for many years. He was a career veterinarian of over 40 years at Iowa State University. And it is just invaluable advice in as far as the program and the FFA. And then my wife, Casey Davis, she's an educator over at United. And she would help serve as the female chaperone as well.
What an opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what's the catch?
Yeah, right. Hey,
It's homecoming.
Yeah.
It's a long,
Yeah,
Yep,
very cool.
right.
Pretty awesome.
So when students go on trips like this is not count towards absenteeism because it's a school
Right,
related
it's
event.
a field trip.
they're in
Yes.
class
Perfect,
a long ways away.
even better.
We'll make sure they get all their work made up in other classes, they have their leaders all the way around, so don't worry about that.
Good.
Good question.
We have a motion.
I will make a motion to approve the trip.
I will second.
All in favor? All opposed? All right, that's it. Do we have a
Good
motion
job,
to
Mr.
adjourn?
Davis.
Motion to adjourn.
Left a
Second.
minute. Give it, give
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
So much for your
Okay,
time.
thank you.
It's exciting.
Guys, I really-
Yeah, thank you. Have fun.
Thanks. I know kids are excited, don't